The coronavirus pandemic, in addition to snuffing out scores of lives, is also triggering racial tensions all over the world. There is a long history of naming pandemics by attaching them to a specific place and people. For example, the 1918 influenza pandemic, which was found in Spain, was called Spanish flu, and the recent Ebola virus disease, EVD, is named after the Ebola River in Congo, where it was first discovered. In the same way, West Nile virus and Zika were also named as per their geographical origins. Following the same theme, people started calling the coronavirus, which first raised its ugly head in Wuhan city of China, as either Wuhan coronavirus or Chinese virus. Even the well-known Western newspapers such as the New York Times and the Washington Post used similar terms to refer to the virus initially. Before we continue, please click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Official nomenclature: the World Health Organization (WHO) officially named the disease as coronavirus disease and the virus as severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, SARS-CoV-2. The Associated Press app, Stylebook, which is considered to be the gold standard for media professionals, prescribed the use of either coronavirus or COVID-19, coronavirus disease 19. Trump's plain speak: in the election-bound United States, where the political temperatures rose recently, the Republicans started using terms such as Wuhan coronavirus, Chinese virus, and even Kung flu to highlight the origins of the virus. President Trump, who usually consigns political correctness to the dustbin and speaks the truth, repeatedly used the expression Chinese virus to highlight the fact that the virus not only originated in China but also spreading due to the conspiratorial actions of China's totalitarian communist regime. Is the reference to China racist? The Communist Party of China, CPC, which has no respect for freedom of expression and exercises tight control over its domestic media, objected to the use of the China-centric expressions and termed them racist. And the left-leaning Western newspapers, which were hitherto using the same terms, changed the tune and started towing the line of the CPC. Even the left-leaning politicians all over the world also towed CPC's line and started castigating people who used the expressions that highlighted the virus's Chinese origins. What people think? Despite what the WHO says or app Stylebook prescribes, the virus that originated in Wuhan city of China will always remain as a Chinese virus in the minds of the people. Because people strongly believe that the dreadful food habits of the Chinese and the conspiratorial actions of their communist regime regarding the virus outbreak pushed the world into this terrible crisis. Massive cover-up: it is a widely known fact that the communist regime headed by the CPC is highly despotic and authoritarian. It wants to use its economic and military clout to achieve its political and territorial ambitions. It, in pursuit of its ambitions, tightly controls information to build a favorable narrative about itself. As a result, there is hardly any independent media houses in China. The media houses that are existent in China have reduced themselves into mere propaganda machine of the despotic regime. There are reports stating that China is even trying to obtain favorable publicity by buying popular journos to plant favorable news and opinion pieces about itself. There is a talk that even many Indian journos sold their souls to the CPC. Dreadful food habits: after the coronavirus pandemic started inflicting ever-mounting mortalities, many questions arose about the role played by China, where the disease originated. The first thing the world started discussing is the dreadful food habits of the Chinese. Chinese are known for eating anything that moves, including scorpions, snakes, bats, dogs, donkeys and whatnot. As per the research findings, the novel coronavirus has its origins in the Chinese slaughterhouses and wet markets. Therefore, people all over the world concluded that the terrible food habits of the Chinese led to the birth of this virus. Many videos are circulating both on mainstream and social media that depict the mind-numbingly cruel methods the Chinese use to kill the animals, such as boiling and blow-torching live animals. Conspiratorial actions, and moreover, there are many allegations that China concealed the enormity of the virus outbreak to avoid damage to its economy. It misled the world by stating that the coronavirus does not transmit from human to human, and therefore the world need not worry about it. It also tried to create the impression that the virus is only local to China and hence no need for cancelling any flights to it. The world trusted its words, and as a result, paying a heavy price in terms of lives lost and damage to the economy. https://twitter.com/who/status/1217043229427761152. The tweet made by the World Health Organization (WHO) on January 14, 2020, is a clear indication that China lied about the nature of the virus. Li Wenliang, the chintz whistleblower doctor, who warned his colleagues about the virus in December 2019 and took to the social media to alert the people, was accused of spreading fake news and was admonished by the Communist Party of China (CPC). The physician later contracted the virus and died while undergoing treatment. The CPC rendered a posthumous apology to the doctor's family. There are many observers who feel that had the CPC listened to him and taken appropriate measures to curb the spread of the disease and even alert the world community, the world would have been in a far better place to mitigate the after effects of the virus outbreak. Expulsion of journos. China expelled many American journalists who, it thought, were working against its interests. The journalists who worked for prominent newspapers such as the New York Times and the Washington Post were expelled by China for not towing its line. The unending opacity maintained by the CPC dealt a deathblow to the efforts of the world to contain the virus during its initial stages itself. Peddling fake fatality numbers. Many observers even suspect the fatality figures given by China. If a small country like Italy can have over 15,000 fatalities, China must have suffered far more fatalities, which it somehow concealed. As per a U.S. intelligence report, China's public reporting on cases and deaths is intentionally incomplete and their fatality figures are fake. This juncture. But at the same time, it must also be on guard not to let the totalitarian Chinese regime exploit the situation to establish its political, territorial and economic hegemony over the world. Works cited list. Hassan, Peter. China helped put this man in charge of the World Health Organization. Is it paying off? The National Interest, the Center for the National Interest, the 23rd of March 2020. Lisa Schlein. WHO chief urges countries not to close borders to foreigners from China. Voice of America, the 3rd of February 2020. Nick, Wadhams, and Jacobs Jennifer. China concealed extent of virus outbreak, U.S. intelligence says. Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg, the 1st of April 2020. Payne, Adam. The Netherlands has recalled 600,000 coronavirus face masks it imported from China after discovering they were faulty. Business Insider, the 29th of March 2020. Thank you very much for watching. For more articles on socio-political and economic issues pertaining to India, please visit http://www.pensivewebison.in.